What up, people? It's your boy. Welcome to another episode of Just My Opinion podcast, episode 8. I know I haven't been uploading these on the regular. I'm going to have a real short show. We're going to be talking about a lot of things in this short episode of a podcast. We're going to be talking about LeBron James and the criticism around LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers and speculation that is growing about the future of the Los Angeles Lakers, possibly a coaching change. We're also going to be talking about. We're also going to be talking about AB. AB got suspended for 3 games for faking a Vax card. We're also going to be talking about a little gaming news. We're going to be talking about PlayStation executive being caught out here on these streets soliciting minors. So we're going to be talking about a lot of stuff today, okay? So let's get into it. Let's get into the future of the Los Angeles Lakers. The future of the Los Angeles Lakers look cloudy right now. It doesn't look good for the Los Angeles Lakers. If you're a fan of the Los Angeles Lakers, there's no more excuses. You done used pretty much every legitimate or not legitimate excuse about why the Los Angeles Lakers are struggling. All right. A lot of people talk about, well, wait until LeBron gets into the lineup. Things are going to change. Things are not changing. Then everyone's talking about, well, wait until these new pieces that they picked up in the offseason start building chemistry, and you just wait and see. They're building chemistry and still the same thing. A lot of people saying a lot of things. A lot of people are pointing fingers at Frank Vogel. They need to fire Frank Vogel. Even if they fire Frank Vogel, I don't think the problems that the Lakers have are going to change overnight. Uh, they tried switching the lineup. That's not working. Uh, and the Los Angeles Lakers are struggling, folks. They are struggling. They are a 500 basketball club, and if they lose a couple of games, they're going to be below 500. If the playoffs started today, they'll be in the play-in tournament like they were, I believe, last year. I believe the Lakers, the swagger the Lakers had 2 years ago when they won the title in the bubble, they have lost. Uh, Obviously, uh, there's a lot of blame to be sliced. I don't think it's all due to the head coach. I feel like LeBron James should take some criticism for the team struggle. I think Frank Vogel deserves some blame. Rob Pelinka definitely deserves some blame. Jeannie Buss, remember how she was, you know, she was always on social media talking about the Los Angeles Lakers, and you haven't heard a peep from Jeannie Buss. But Jeannie Buss, you deserve some blame for the Los Angeles Lakers woes. And I told you guys, and I hate to beat a dead horse, but I told you guys in the offseason, I was not impressed in the offseason. I felt like they should have made better basketball decisions and better basketball moves. Instead, they went after players that were former superstars. Carmelo Anthony made the trade for Russell Westbrook. They got Rondo for little or nothing. And they did a lot of things. The Lakers, with LeBron James and AD, they were willing to do whatever it takes to win another title, to bring another title in La La Land. I feel like Anthony Davis has settled. I think Anthony Davis would sacrifice for the team, but he's not going to sacrifice all the way for the team. Anthony Davis wants to be a wing player. He does not want to play uh, down low. hence why they went and got Dwight Howard. But Dwight Howard is an older player, and Dwight Howard can't literally play the post night in and night off. You're going to need Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis is clearly their best big man on the Los Angeles Lakers. He's better than Dwight. I mean, he has the capabilities of being better than Dwight. And he's your best asset on the low post. And Anthony Davis refused to play that position. Anthony Davis wants to float around the perimeter line, the 3-point line, you know, and he does not want to be committed as a low post scorer or an anchor on the low post on the defensive end, which he was doing when they won the title. The difference was the reason why he did it. He chose to do it because he wasn't committed fully at the center position or the power forward position because they had other big men at their disposal. Hence why last year when they got Montez Harrell, they thought he was going to be their big man, and he was easily just going to just do him. And the struggles were real last year. Anthony Davis does not want to play the 5. LeBron James is getting older, folks. LeBron James isn't the same LeBron James when he won a title, the one and only title for the Cleveland Cavaliers. He's not that same guy when he played in the Miami Heat, won 2 titles there. He's a different LeBron James. LeBron James needs help. He can't just put a team on his back and ready, set, go. Let's do it. Just roll the ball out, and LeBron's going to take over. I feel like another thing that's hindering LeBron James is he wants to capture all of these individual stats, which, by the way, in all these individual records. And if you look at the NBA is not known for records like they are with baseball. Baseball, a lot of people cherish those records, like the home run record, steals, the Iron Man record. Those individual records flourish in baseball. However, when you talk about basketball, no one really talks about who's the all-time scorer, who's the all-time assist leader, who's the all-time steals leader. All right. In basketball, it's a different avenue and it's a different beast. It's at the end of the day, how many titles do you have? How many rings are on your hand? At the end of the day, that's what it's all about, and it's going to continue to be that way. Another thing that the Lakers are struggling with is they're not younger, they're older. A lot of teams that are young are very competitive. And the Lakers are going to struggle with those teams. The Lakers are also going to struggle with teams that are talented, like the Golden State Warriors, the Phoenix Suns. They're going to struggle with those teams. And in some cases, the Milwaukee Bucks. I feel like they're going to struggle with the Milwaukee Bucks. I think the struggle is going to be real for the Los Angeles Lakers as the season goes on. And there's no magic elixir or trade that can turn all their woes overnight. They're going to have to get better on the defensive end, which they're clearly not, and they're going to have to shoot less threes, which they're clearly not going to either. So a head is going to have to roll for these Lakers struggles, and a lot of people are assuming Frank Vogel is going to be the first one on the chopping block if things do not change. And that's what LeBron James was critiquing about when you talk about the growing criticism. There have been a lot of Laker greats that are not pleased nor happy with the Lakers, particularly with what LeBron James did on the court with the Indiana Pacers. He showed off a little bit and did the Sam Cassell, the big ball dance. And Kareem Abdul-Jabbar said, quote, Goats don't dance. It was embarrassing. Now, to me, I look at it like this, okay? I don't have an issue if LeBron James wants to dance. My issue is because I feel like when you're making I feel like when you show up the other team, you're making a statement. You're letting the league know that you're for real and you're here to stay. But LeBron, you're not making a statement by doing that dance to the Indiana Pacers, and the Indiana Pacers are not going anywhere. Not anytime soon. That's the problem with the Lakers. That's the problem. They struggle with regular teams. They don't beat the teams that they're supposed to beat. And when there's teams that are better talented than them, more younger than them, have better depth when you talk about their roster than them, that has better strategy than them, they struggle with those teams. They're in the middle of the pack. Shannon Sharp said something. I don't necessarily agree with everything Shannon Sharp says, but this is what Shannon Sharp says. The Los Angeles Lakers, until they start going on 7 and 8 game winning streaks, they're going to always be in this predicament. They win one, they lose one. They win 2, they lose 3. So they're going to be in the middle of the pack for the time being, and there's no trade out there that's going to change all their problems overnight. And that's the problem with the Los Angeles Lakers. So in other news, let's get into Antonio Brown. And I said this on numerous occasions about Antonio Brown. I told you guys if it was found out that Antonio Brown really fake vaccine cards, he was going to lose a lot of money on his contract, and he was going to be suspended for the rest of the year. And it wouldn't shock me nor surprise me if the Tampa Bay Buccaneers simply released him. Well, the verdict is out. The NFL said there was some funny business and some funny stuff going on with Antonio Brown, and they fined him and also suspended him for 3 games. Now, currently, at the moment, he still plays for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But I feel like all of that's going to change on several fronts. One, do the Tampa Bay Buccaneers continue to win without Antonio Brown? And if they make a signing here or a trade here, particularly on the receiver position, and that particular person is more available than Antonio Brown, the best ability is availability. And Antonio Brown hasn't been on the field in quite some time. Plus, if you can replace Antonio Brown's production or get even close of replacing Antonio Brown's production, and you do it on the cheap, and you're still winning, it would not shock nor surprise me if Antonio Brown gets released by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Bruce Arrington already said that, look, BA have already stated this, that if Antonio Brown screws up one time with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, he's a goner. He's already done screwed up, folks. He screwed up royalty. And the NFL could have went hard on Antonio Brown because you look at his past, and you just basically caught him red-handed trying to secure a fake vaccine card. Now, what saved him was someone probably whispered in his ear and said, "Look, that's a federal. You can be charged criminally for doing that." And he probably said, "You know what? I did not know that. Let me go ahead and get the vaccine. Let me go ahead and take the vaccine anyway." And I think that sort of saved him. It's saving grace. And I also feel like the NFL, as well as Antonio Brown and his lawyers, feel that uh, probably they're not going to push this any further as far as legally, and they probably is going to fine him, and they're not going to probe it anymore. And like I said, is a he said she said type deal. And if the individual does not have it documented, where Antonio Brown said, if you give me a fake vaccine card, I will give you this much money, and it was $3,000. Antonio Brown, quit being so cheap. If you're going to do something illegal, go ahead and pay the debt, even though you feel like you don't have to. But with your checkered past, $3,000 out of your pocket is a lot better than what you done lost so far in missing 3 games in the NFL. Not to mention being fined. Not to mention on the fact that, like I said in my previous video, I feel like this is going to really hurt him in the offseason next season. I think a lot of people, I think a lot of teams are not going to touch him. I feel like a lot of teams are going to say we can't trust him. He's a year older, and we can replace that production with a younger receiver that's more available and more talented than AB. So that's that. Last thing, the next thing I want to talk about is this Sony executive caught in a sting. Basically, I saw the video yesterday, and he was outside of his own home, and he had his phone in his hand. And these guys, it was a trap from the word go. There was no young boy there, no minor there. This was just a sting. That wasn't Sanchez. That wasn't. Um, it wasn't in conjunction with the local police department there, or the sheriff department, or the FBI, whatever organizational group. Uh, it wasn't tied to none of that. It was just one of those gotcha stings, like the sting with EDP 445. It was sort of like that. And they caught him on video waiting for a young boy. And when he found out that the gist was up and this was all just a sting, there's no boy there, he immediately shut his door, and the guy tried to embarrass him by yelling out loud to let the rest of the neighbors know that they have a despicable person in their neighborhood. We'll just leave it like that. Here's where I'm going to give y'all the truth, and I'm going to be honest with y'all. I'm going to be 100% honest with you, and I feel like it's going to go this way. I feel like this has already been blown over. Okay. Sony has released a statement saying that they fired that individual, so he no longer has a job with them. Um, and I feel like no charges are going to be. He's not going to be charged for anything because, like I said, it wasn't sanctioned with the police department there, or local or federal law enforcement there. It was just basically a guy with a camera who has a YouTube channel or a social media account that that planned this thing all along. And I think nothing is going to happen to him as legally. But I feel like this has already been blown over, in my opinion. Uh, and as far as him getting a job in the gaming industry, he may not get a job where he's the CEO or an executive, but I feel like he started a lot of relationships in the video game industry, and I'm pretty sure somebody after he's white red hot right now. Nobody is going to touch him with a 10-foot pole. He's a dumpster fire right now. But I feel like 3 or 4 years down the road, he'll be back in the gaming industry. I don't like EDP 445. I don't like him as an individual. I don't like when he got caught up and we found out what he really was, I didn't like him before that. And when I found out that he's into stuff like that, I really despised him. And people are making efforts as far as him trying to get famous or make money off his fame on social media. He's pretty much been banned by every social media application out there. He can never make a YouTube channel, a Facebook channel, a Twitter. Uh, he's been on these lower tier uh, apps of social media. He's been banned from their Instagram things, video me of me or whatever you call that. Anyway, he's been banned just literally everywhere. And every time he tries to create a channel, they immediately ban him when the word gets out who and what he is. So he's never going to get famous again on social media. He's never going to make money off his fame on social media ever again. He has been banned, and he's been banned and sent to the shadow realm. This executive, when time is passed and move on, and when the rest of the pieces come out, the local government and the state government is not going to charge him. All right, because it's the same reasons why they didn't charge EDP 445. He's going to have a better legal team than EDP 445. All right. 2, he still has a pension, and Sony still owes him money. Now, he may not get all of his money. He's going to get some of his money. And 3 to 4 years down the road, when this story dies, unlike EDP 445, where the story has legs and wings, and all of the haters or the fans or people who are disgusted by his behavior continue to go through social media with their pitchforks, making sure that he never exists again on social media or make money off of social media. This gentleman, this executive, is going to be back in the gaming industry. Maybe not as an executive or maybe not as a CEO, but he's going to be founding some studio and going to continue to make games and still make money off those games. And life is going to be good for him. He never will have to worry about being evicted from his home in his gated community. He's never going, if anything, he'll probably move to another gated community and live in peace. And those same people, even if they had the same hatred they had, if they carried their same hatred like they did with EDP 445, and they just said, "Oh, we found another one. Let's get our pitchforks out here. Let's ban him. Let's make sure he never be an executive or work in the gaming industry ever, forever, ever. This man is going to continue to make a living in the gaming industry. Because you know why? You want to know why? I know a lot of people are going to say, well, look at EDP 445. He's a black overweight individual that a lot of people did not like. The majority of the people did not like EDP 445. The majority of the people that's hearing this story about this Sony exec, they don't even know this guy. So they don't hate him, nor they don't like him. And yes, he's going to hear a lot of slack for now, and maybe a month from now, maybe 3 months from now, maybe 6 months from now, maybe even a year. We can push it past a year, probably. But then a year or more max, and then the story goes away. We talk about something else, and this guy goes right back to his regular life, He never going to have to worry about being evicted from his gated community. He may have to move from his gated community. Okay. But life will go on. And another 2 or 3 years, he'll be right back in the gaming industry. I'm calling it like it is. The people that we can't stand, we will spend the rest of our lives, morning, noon, night, trying to figure out ways to either troll him or make sure that individual never gets an opportunity again anywhere on the planet. We spend our whole lives making sure of that. But someone that does the exact same wrong, disgusting thing, even though we are disgusted by the individual, we don't spend our ever loving life following him and making sure that we're going to make sure this guy would never ever have a job or a position like that, or never make money or anything like that. Because you know why? Because everyone despised EDP 445. People hate EDP 445 because he was a terrible human being, more so than him uh you know trying to fool around with underage people, trying to clean it up, folks. And this guy, who knows how many times he has done this, yeah, he's going to hear some backlash for it now, maybe 6 months from now, maybe a year and a few months tops max. But then after that, people don't, people will forget about him. And that's what his PR firm, his lawyers, his team of lawyers, and including himself, is banking on. We're going to forget about him. And maybe 2 or 3 years down later, he's going to be heading some studio. He may not be the executive or the CEO of that studio, but life will go on. Why? Because we don't, we really don't put a lot of passion of hate into individuals that we don't know of that do despicable acts. Now we'll do that for someone who we don't like. We'll put the extra time and the extra energy. Oh, I got time today. We'll do that for that individual. But when it comes to someone that did the exact same thing, and we may not don't and we don't hate that individual, you know, at the moment, at the time, we disgusted by that individual. But when the next story comes around, we done forgot about it. We done moved on. We moved on quick. Man, I'm just saying. I'm calling it like I'm seeing it. I'm just calling it like I'm seeing it. Wow. That was a good live stream. I hope everyone enjoyed the Just My Opinion podcast, episode 8. I had some technical difficulties doing this. One of the reasons is it was the app itself is tripping. So I probably ain't got this titled or labeled correctly, but I will do it once it's done processing, and you guys can check it out when it's fully processed and I fully got the title and the description and all that stuff, and the tags. So that's the reason why not a lot of people shown up to this event, and that's fine and that's cool. Uh, and I'm gonna try to make another one sometime this week. I'm gonna try to do another episode next week, or if not, I'm going to do a video. Um, but other than that, that's all I got for this. I was gonna wait a while and see if somebody messaged me. I had like a few people in the building, uh, but I don't have anybody right now. I'm just gonna wait for like another couple of seconds to make this a full 30-minute live stream. I could talk briefly and fast about Jesse Smollett or Jesse Smollett. Uh, when I heard about this a couple of years ago, uh, he was in a lot of hot water because um, that he got attacked by some guys wearing MAGA hats, and they threw bleach on him, and they put a noose around his neck, and people were up in arms and was talking about it on social media. But when the word got out, particularly with a lot of evidence from mostly from the police department, they found out that this was all a hoax. It was all fake. The event never happened. And when all the evidence came out, I said to myself, "Oh man, this guy. Apparently, the reason why he did this is because his role got reduced on Empire. I don't watch Empire, but a lot of people say Empire was like Power, and I don't even watch Power nor Empire. And basically, he got upset because his role got reduced and he didn't like it, so he was trying to um, create a buzz surrounding him and around him, and hopefully, that helps him as an actor on Empire. And hey, look, fame is a powerful drug. Fame is more addictive than cocaine or weed or crack. That's how, or heroin. Okay, that's how the potent fame is to a lot of people, and people will do anything and everything to get famous or to be famous. And when they talked about this a couple of years ago, I thought that this was like over with. It was a wrap. Particularly, I thought that Jesse done confessed and he's working out some type of deal with the Justice Department. Well, apparently this went to court a couple of days ago, and basically he took the stand uh, for himself, and basically said on the stand like this was all a fake hoax. He denied being the ringleader of this. And I'm gonna be honest with you, people. To sum this thing up, uh, they the DA already got the two guys that was also in this fake hoax with Jesse, and they already got their testimony. And they got the check. He wrote a check to these two guys. Now he's claiming the reason why he wrote the check was he was paying a service for the nutrition plan and yada yada yada. They also got a video of all three of them practicing this fake hoax event. That's kind of damaging. All right. Then they got surveillance footage of what really took place and what really went down that night. And they got a lot of evidence on him where he's not going to get off this scot free. Uh, and to be perfectly honest with you, if he wants to make this go away real fast, I really think the DA is really pushing jail time. I feel like this would have went away a lot faster if he just admit to it, pay a fine, pay the court costs, and they just use him as a tool for people out there that's faking crime or faking stuff, faking investigation, faking crimes and things of that nature. They just utilize him for that, and maybe let him speak at a halfway home or something like that. you know but I feel like the DA is really going hard, and they really pushing this, and they want to use him as an example, and they're pushing jail time for Jesse, and he may get it depending on the jurors. Now, if the jurors feel sorry for him or feel like, he was just young and dumb and really didn't handle his situation very well, and they probably will look at him and say, well, look, he has never been involved in no other serious crimes. So why we're throwing the book at him? He's just a scared guy that did something very, very stupid. Let's just let him pay a fine and let him move on with his life. That's what Jesse and his lawyers are hoping the jurors, when they go into deliberations, and I think they're already in deliberations when they reach their verdict. But to me, the longer they are in, uh, uh, the jurors are in, the jurors are back there deliberating on whether or not is he guilty or not guilty. The longer they stay back there, the longer that just signals to me, okay, they found him guilty. Now they're trying to lay out what type of time he's going to get. That's what that's telling me. If he was innocent, you know, this it wouldn't have lasted that long. Maybe one or two people are probably on the other side of the fence saying, no, we got to charge him with something. But if the multitude of them saying, no, let's just say he's innocent. And I think he served his time and just let him pay a fine and court costs and use him as an example to tell the youth out there, hey, this is not the right way of handling things. I feel like if they do, I mean, that verdict would have came down a lot sooner. Now they went into deliberations, I believe, last night, and going by tonight, that'll be a full day. If we didn't, if and I haven't watched the news yet, if you don't hear nothing by 9 or 10 o'clock tonight, then that's just telling me in my gut that if this lasts the next day, they're looking more for, okay, he's guilty. Now let's try to figure out how much time is he's going to get. That's in my personal humble opinion. That's what they're going to seek out. So yeah, it's not looking too good. I mean, like I said, uh by tomorrow, if there's no verdict reach, I would be worried if I was on his defense team. I would be a little worried. I wouldn't be like seriously worried, but I would be a little worried like, wow, it's been a whole day and these guys still are in deliberations. I'm a little worried. Okay. So yeah, that's all I gotta say on that. I really do appreciate everyone that subscribed to the channel, hit the notification bell, hit the like button, share this content with your friends, family, and followers. Uh, I'm gonna be doing a lot of things to enhance this channel, to make this channel better. But as far as it's up to you guys how far we're gonna take this. Okay. Um, I wanted to do a call-in show, but it just seemed like a lot of people are not into that. I only had a few people that was interested, but I didn't have a lot of you guys that wanted a situation like that. And I mean, it is what it is. Personally, my opinion is, my thing of it is, I'm not a real call-in guy. Okay, never has, never will. Okay, and I just don't have a lot of faith in the call-in system. I feel like now if there was a guest and we're going back, maybe I feel like when you have a bunch of people talking, and I've seen this on a lot of YouTube channels where you have like 5 or 6 people in the room, you're not getting no entertainment there. You're hearing subtle things here, subtle things there. You're hearing a shot here, you're hearing a shot there, but you're not really getting the context of anyone's message, because all you getting is white noise. All right. I feel like when I see calling shows like that, I don't get a lot of entertainment from that. All right. I feel like the better situation is, if it's going to be a call in, is you have someone, if it's a one-on-one type of situation where it's like the host and a guest. I feel like if it goes, I feel like you can get dialogue from and an understanding from both individuals that are for or against whatever they're going to, well, whatever they're talking about. And like I said, I'm not keen or big on that type of setting where you have like 5 or 6 people in the building or 5 or 6 people in the room. But if you guys wanted that, I didn't mind doing that. It's just, to me, I get more entertainment when I can actually listen to both sides of the argument or three sides to the argument. Now, there are a lot of call-in shows where it's not that hectic or cluttered. Let's just say clutter. We'll use the word clutter. But I have listened to a lot of these podcasts, and they have like 5 or 6 people in there. You got some people talking loud. You got some people you can't understand what they're saying. And therein lies the problem. You got people yelling at one another. You got a bunch of questions for 2 people there. Then you got a different set of questions for some people on the other side. It's just madness. Okay. It's a hit or miss type of thing. I wouldn't say it's all bad. To me, it's a hit or miss type of situation. So yeah, uh, that's all I got, man. That's all I got. I even waited an extra 10 minutes to see if somebody else comes into the building, but apparently no one else is. So I will see you guys as far as another episode of Just My Opinion podcast. That'll be episode 9, I believe. I'll probably do that Thursday. If something goes down tomorrow, I will cover it on a video tomorrow. And I will see you guys later. It's your boy, the host with the most. Please support this channel. All right? I'm up out of here. Deuces.